Good morning again, and welcome to KIPP Pleasant Grove Primary, soon to be KIPP Pleasant Grove Middle School opening next year. My name is Jacqueline Bell, and I am a proud KIPP DFW parent and also a member of the KIPP DFW team. KIPP DFW is a network of 5, soon to be 6, free college preparatory, open enrollment public charter schools serving elementary and middle school students in the communities of Oak Cliff, Redbird, and now Pleasant Grove. We are part of the Knowledge is Power program, a national network of open enrollment college preparatory public charter schools in 20 states and the District of Columbia. With high expectations for our students, KIPP DFW builds a partnership among parents, students, and teachers that puts learning first and helps students achieve choice-filled lives. As I said, I am a proud KIPP DFW mom. My son is a 7th grader at KIPP Truth Academy. My journey to school choice started when he was transitioning into kindergarten. He had gone to a fantastic early childhood learning center and was ready to start his journey for formal education. We moved back to Oak Cliff to take care of my mom, who was elderly and ill. And I was so excited because my child would have the opportunity to go to the neighborhood school that I attended that just happened to have been recognized by the state as an exemplary campus. So I went to the campus to register my child, only to find out that we had been rezoned and could no longer attend the school that was less than 10 blocks from our home. I was told instead we would have to go over 2 miles away to a school that was lower performing and had issues. This hurt me as a parent, and it angered me because when I was asked, the school said, I said, why would I have to go past this elementary school and a second elementary school to a third elementary school that was lower performing? And I was told the schools had been rezoned to try to keep yet another failing school from closing. Again, I was shocked and I was angry to think about my son's education and future that could be compromised by a random geographic boundary line that shifted him from a high-performing school to a lower-performing one. So my search began, and I found a fantastic dual literacy elementary charter school not too far from in my neighborhood, and our journey began. When it was time to transition to middle school, we chose KIPP Truth Academy. Not only were we in our neighborhood, but their reputation for helping students to excel made it the right choice for my son and my family. Now for a little bit of bragging rights. I'm proud to report that my 7th grader is now a stellar student athlete, a member of the National Junior Honor Society, and is maintaining a 3.85 grade point average at KIPP Truth Academy and has tested as college ready in all of his core coursework. Charter schools work. He loves his teacher, and he is currently researching his high school and college options. After my son's 5th grade year, I was so impressed with the growth in my child and the level of maturity I saw in him that I decided to apply and was able to join the KIPP DFW team. My story is not unique, but it shows the power of allowing parents to choose the educational option that is the best fit for their family and their child's future. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Uplift Education's Chief Executive Officer, Yasmin Bhatia. Yasmin has been at the helm of Uplift for nearly 8 years, where she has led an effort to offer excellent education to students all over the DFW Metroplex. Yasmin, thank you for your contribution to this city and to all the communities you are serving.
Thank you so much. Thank you again to Ms. Bell for kicking us off, and to our friends and colleagues in this work from KIPP DFW for hosting all of us today. I'd also like to welcome our elected officials, our community supporters, and the parents that we have who are here from Life Schools, Harmony, Great Hearts, Legacy, and of course, my fellow parents here from Uplift Education as well. Today's event is about raising up parent voice. On the tables here, you see 5,000 handwritten letters from across the state, as well as the parents behind me and the parent speakers who will come forward to share their stories of how putting their child in a public charter school has positively shaped their child's life. Today there are 247,000 students who are in public charter schools across the state and 140,000 who are on the wait list trying to get in. Each family's stories may be different, and you'll hear that as our parent speakers come forward today. Their reasons for choosing public schools may vary, but all of these parents are united, and they simply wanted what was the best fit school for their child. And isn't that what all of us want? The opportunity for our children to flourish and to thrive. Texas public charter schools are unique in their mission to serve families, and various educational models exist. But what some might not know is that public charter schools are held to higher academic standards, higher financial accountability, have no academic requirements for entry, and do indeed serve and serve well our special education students. And they do all this while receiving less funding from the state. On average, that's about $1,000 less per student. These families have chosen public charter schools, and we are all here today to share publicly and with our legislators why we believe this choice is so important and to ask for their support this upcoming session. It is now my privilege to introduce a father who is a waitlist parent for our campus, Uplift North Hills, Representative Jason Villalba. He is serving his third year in the House representing the North Dallas District, and he cares and fights deeply for issues that are relevant for all of us in Texas, whether that's education, which we're all here today to talk about, economic development, water, transportation, and public safety. Representative Villalba has been a great friend to public charter schools across the state. And he's a friend that not only uses his voice to speak for support, but he also uses action to help fight for us as well. It is my great pleasure to welcome an Uplift Waitlist parent and State Representative Villalba. Jason Villalba.
What an honor and a privilege it is to be here today in front of so many parents and students here who've done so many great things. These 5,000 letters, now I picked up a package just a moment ago. About half of these are to me. So I'm looking forward to reading these letters, and they're so well crafted. I have three little ones, 10 years old, 7 years old, and a little boy, he's about 3. And the penmanship and the way they've crafted the sentences, I know this is some of the top stuff you're going to see in the district. Now, I visit every school in my district. That's public, that's private, that's charter, and we know one thing about the charter schools. And what we know is that the parents at the charter schools are engaged, and they have so many stories, just like Jacqueline's here, about how, look, they wanted to go to traditional public models, just like myself. My kids are in public school today. I go to the local Withers Elementary School in Dallas. I'm a DISD parent. But I know this, too. We wanted additional options and choices because certain schools don't always work for certain kids. And here we've got these great models that we're seeing develop all over Texas that are able to achieve things that our traditional models have not been able to achieve. Now, these aren't private schools. These aren't for people that are just wealthy. They're for people like me and people like you, just ordinary folks who work hard daily and want to send our kids to school so they can have a better life than we did. These are public schools. Let me emphasize that for the cameras. Charter schools are public schools. And what we're doing today with some legislation that I filed this week is we are finding additional resources and funds for public charter schools. Now, that is critically important. You're going to hear on the news about all these different programs and these things that they're doing, and they're always saying, oh, it's going to be for folks that are going to these private schools. We're taking money away from public schools and sending them to private schools. That's not the case with what we're trying to achieve. Yasmin mentioned that charter schools are able to do some great things with about a third less money than the traditional public models. Well, I said to myself, well, I send my kids to public schools, and I have 2 daughters that I hope someday can go to one of these great schools behind me. So why are they able to do the things that they're able to do with less money? So I visited the charter schools, and I found that, again, the number one issue is parents. It's you in this room who care so much about your kids. It's these kids who want a better education. And it's the teachers and the models of reform that we're seeing in these classrooms that make a tremendous difference. And we're seeing it in the test scores. And it happens every time. You get people who are committed to the kids, those test scores raise, and we're seeing some fantastic things happen. I want a part of that. I want to be a part of that. So I'm on that wait list, and I hope we can do it. And I said, well, they're doing more with less. How do we fix that? Well, heck, I'm in the Texas legislature. There's a way to do that. So I put together a little bill, and I talked to Yasmin, and I talked to some people in this room, and I said, how can we help you? And they said, well, we sure need some help for our facilities. You know, a lot of these great schools are in old banks, or they're in old churches, or in the basement of a facility that's donated, or they're from facilities that we just don't have the same kind of help that we have with the traditional models. So I said, well, what do you need? They said, well, we need equalization of funding. And so I said, let's do it. Let's go to those schools, let's go to these charter schools, and let's give them the necessary resources that they need to compete and have the financial models the same as public schools. And I think we're going to do it. You know, again, people put it in the choice option. This is a choice option for parents. This is a school choice bill, and it's for choices for parents like me and like Jacqueline and like everybody in this room. It's a school choice bill. But what it really is additional public dollars for public schools in Texas. And that's what we're doing today. Because we know that these models work. I know they work, and that's why I'm on the waiting list. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting there. And my wife and I have our fingers crossed, and it's a lottery. I've been rejected several times, so you can tell there's no benefit to being in the legislature from that front. But we know that we want to be with some of these kids, and my daughters would love to spend some time at Harmony or KIPP or Uplift, and so we're thankful that we have that opportunity in this great state, and we're going to make sure that the schools that have worked so hard to make such a great difference have the necessary resources they need, and that's what we're going to do. Now, let me tell you something good. We heard over in the Senate that they like this bill. We're going to get some support in the Senate. Two, these kinds of bills in the past have always gotten jammed up in the House. And I can tell you one thing that I'm proud of, that's my pass record. I'm about 80%. If I put my head to something, we're going to make it work. And I have friends like Yasmin who doesn't stop, and some other good friends I have in this room. We're going to make this bill work, and we're going to get your school additional resources because it's a good public school that makes a difference for our kids. Thank you so much for what you do. God bless you, and let's get this bill done.
Thank you again, Representative Villalba, and my fingers are crossed for you as well. Good luck with the Uplift Lottery. Wish I could help there, but you know I can't. I don't look as good in stripes. It is now my pleasure to continue bringing parent speakers forward and to introduce Paige Lacerna, a Harmony parent. Thank you.
Good morning. I know what you're thinking, I'm a little young to be a parent, but I'm actually an alumni from Harmony. I want to start by expressing how honored I feel to be here in support of public charter schools. It's an opportunity that so many seek for their children, and I'm keenly aware of just how fortunate I was and am to be a part of it. I hope my words today accurately voice the sentiments of students and parents everywhere who need a great education. From 6th grade to now my senior year in college, I've spent a little over 10 years at Harmony as both a student and an intern. I don't think that kind of loyalty happens, with any school. The small, close-knit community is composed of incredible students, parents, administrators, and of course, teachers. Both as a student and as a colleague, I have been privileged to witness teachers at our school who put true passion and dedication and care into their work. I'm indebted to too many Harmony educators to list who have shaped me into the person and soon-to-be college graduate, class of 2017, that I am today. And now I see this every day when I go to work at our schools. Teachers who take initiative, for example, getting our school and students involved in local academic competitions. Counselors who remember every single student they've ever taught and who greet each of them with true interest and genuine hope for their academic and career success after high school. Students of our 6 graduating classes who come back regularly, long before any 10-year reunion is in sight, for our alumni events, or simply to visit and help out their past mentors. I am more and more convinced that Harmony is more than a name. It is the nature of how we operate and the foundation of our success. The connections we formed here and the goals we've achieved together make for a kind of experience I think all parents and young minds should have an opportunity to be a part of. I believe, like Harmony, all public charter schools do their best to make each and every student feel as if they and their future are important. I truly hope that lawmakers can support that kind of opportunity as well. Thank you for your time and consideration.
What university are you at, and what's your major?
University of Texas at Arlington, and I'm studying PR.
My first funding request would be for a podium for 6'4" parents. I'm so honored to be here today to speak about my family's experience in a public charter school and on behalf of other Texas families that want and deserve the same options. I am a parent of a student at Great Hearts Irving Public Charter School. It is a classical liberal arts public school. And you know, I love the fact that I found a public school that is so focused on the development of my son's character and his heart. And it is, as it is focused on the development of his mind. Every day, he is instructed in character and virtue, as well as in core subjects, and he also is developed in strong academics. This is something very unique among public schools. Previously, he was enrolled in a traditional district public school, and it serves its students well. His mother and I, however, wanted a different public school option, and like most parents, we discovered that every student has different needs, and we were fortunate enough to find Great Hearts Irving. And I'm still proud, however, to support the public school system as now a charter public school parent. About my son, he's in his second year now at Great Hearts Irving, and he is thriving. He comes home from school full of excitement about his experience at school and excited to share everything about what he's learned. So in my view, Great Hearts Irving offers an amazing public school program, but with less state funding for each of our students. Our public school students and our public school teachers, I think, deserve better. They deserve fairness in funding. And I should let you know that there are approximately 2,700 students on the Great Hearts Irving wait list. And the inequity in funding means that we can't serve more students and that we have strains on the resources we have for our classrooms and, yes, for our public school teachers. Although I consider myself blessed that my family was able to choose a public school option that was best for our son, there are still more than 141,000 public charter school parents waitlisted in Texas. And I hope that we can all agree this is unacceptable. All students deserve a great public school, which is why I'm here today. I'm fighting for options for all families. I want you to know that I'm not a paid lobbyist. I'm not an elected official. I'm a parent with a son thriving in a public charter school. And I want more families with that option. So together with the public charter parents here today and the more than 141,000 parents waitlisted across the state, I'm calling upon our state representatives and state senators to support legislation over the next few months to fairly fund public charter schools. Thank you.
sir?
Scott Purdy,
One more time, Scott, and spell it for us.
P as in Paul, I-R-N-I-E.
Hi, my name is Leslie Jaramillo, and I am a parent of a kindergarten student at Uplift Infinity Preparatory in Irving, Texas. And I'm here today to tell you why we chose a charter school over a traditional public school for our son. As every kindergarten mom, when he was getting ready to go into school, we were looking at what options were available to him in public school, in charter schools, also in private schools. And we chose Uplift Infinity because of their focus on college preparation and their success in leading their students to college. I grew up in a household where it wasn't about if I was going to college, it was about when and where I was going to college. And I want that same work ethic and drive to be passed on to my own children. I also have 18-month-old twins, and I would love for them to see from their older brother what success really looks like. And I feel that my kindergartner is already seeing that in his kindergarten classroom. And I would also, along with the other parents here, urge our lawmakers to put our tax dollars to work in the schools where our children are attending. I pay taxes just like everybody else, and I would love for my tax dollars to go to the school that my son is attending. So I would encourage our lawmakers to consider that when they're going to process the bills through, and I pray that they would also put it to a vote and give our governor the opportunity to sign it into legislation. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Leslie.
That's
Can you
okay.
repeat the spelling of your first and last name?
Leslie,
At the mic.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Leslie, Leslie, Jaramillo, Jaramillo.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Good morning. My name is Mayra Yera. I'm sorry, I'm really nervous and I get emotional. I have 3 boys, as you can see. The reason I chose KIPP is because my oldest son, he got bullied when he was in school, at his previous school. After each incident, I filled out reports, and after report, and it kept on happening. They never actually did anything about it. When my middle son was about to start school, I didn't want him to go through what my oldest son went through. So I decided to enroll him here at KIPP. I'm sorry. My whole family has actually changed because of KIPP. My brother, he went to KIPP Truth Academy, the first KIPP school here in Dallas. He was part of the first class that opened in Oak Cliff in 2006. He, like my son, had problems and had been held back 2 years at his neighborhood school. Thanks to KIPP and their perseverance to push kids to achieve the impossible, my brother graduated from the University of North Texas last year, and he actually graduated a year before his time. Now he works at one of the KIPP schools. When it came to my son's future, I knew KIPP was the right choice. Next year, all 3 of my boys will be here. We'll be here at KIPP to achieve. Because I know they will help them achieve their goals and have all their dreams come true. I am asking my elected officials to please help KIPP and other public charter schools to do this important work in educating our children. We need equal funding education, whether families choose to send their kids to public charter schools or to traditional public schools. Thank you.
Aren't these parents just so eloquent in sharing their passion that they have for their children and for their schools? I'd love to thank all of them for being here today and sharing their experiences. Thank you again to Representative Villalba for being here as well. And I hope that our local legislators will read these letters and feel as well the passion that these parents have and the hope they have for their children, because all of us want our children to be happy, to have a continuous love of learning, and to grow up to be successful contributors in our community. And that's what these schools are doing, and they deserve to have equal resourcing. Thank you so much for joining us today, and our parent speakers will be available for any questions. Thank you.